Actually, there's a pattern to this, Maroof. D Bakshi, Maroof Raza.
Oh.
Sushant Sareen, Abid Rao, Syed Tariq Peerzada and Colonel Shafqat Saeed. Syed Tariq Peerzada, Shafqat Saeed from Islamabad. There's a pattern to this, Maroof. The pattern is that it's inevitably the Pakistanis who expose the Pakistanis. Isn't it, Maroof? They just expose themselves so blatantly all over again.
Yes, Arnab.
Unless they say tomorrow that Tariq Khosa is an Indian, which he's not. He's not a Pakistani, which he is. They really have nothing to say now, do they? Our Pakistani panelists tonight. Maroof?
Arnab, I just want to jog people's memory. You know, if you look back at various examples from history, the 47-48 operation was launched by Pakistan, officered by Pakistani officers, but they were a complete sense of denial till the man who led the operation, General Akbar Khan, wrote his memoirs and spilled the beans. In 65, again Pakistan said there was no Operation Gibraltar, it was a figment of Indian imagination. And then amongst others, Gawhar Ayub Khan, who was then the ADC to his father, Field Marshal Ayub Khan, has gone on record to say that at least 5,000 Pakistani infiltrators came into J&K, which was the start of the 65 operation, of which the 50th anniversary is this year in August, September. Then you have, in the case of Kargil, General Musharraf and his cronies launches an operation, but then you eventually have Lieutenant General Shahid, who turns around and says that this entire operation was the handiwork of a few people. It was not a Mujahideen operation. It was clearly done with the Northern Light Infantry, and Musharraf and others should have misled the country and embarrassed the army. And now you have, you know, from the time of Rahman Malik onwards, there's been a constant denial that there was nobody from Pakistan involved. This is a figment of Indian imagination. Last week on this channel in a debate, Brigadier Ali from Pakistan was saying that Ajmal Kasab was found by India between Kathmandu and Mumbai, and then projected as a Pakistani. All the evidence is fake. So the pointed issue is that Pakistan always does it. There is a pattern to everything Pakistan does. And now the cows have come home and they are obviously embarrassed. Now they'll turn around and say the DG FIA is an entity in his own right. We don't agree with his assessment. This may have been his claim, but the deep state in Pakistan, which calls the shots, is obviously going to be in denial. It has always been in denial. It will continue to be in denial. And that is what we have to accept. We have to try and move forward.
Okay, no, Maroof, you see, tonight I want to make one point to you and to all our panelists, especially to the Pakistani panelists. We ask specific questions, give specific replies. Don't get into blank and empty rhetoric. Be specific, we'll appreciate it. And answer the question specifically, otherwise you'll be shooting in the dark. Now, gentlemen, the fact is, and Shafqat Saeed and Tariq Peerzada, question goes to you. This man, Tariq Khosa, is no ordinary Pakistani as far as I understand. This man who has today said that Pakistan planned and executed 26/11, was he or was he not directly in charge of investigating 26/11 from the Pakistani side? A, was he or was he not therefore the senior most Pakistani investigator in the FIA, your federal investigating agency, during his tenure, functioning directly under the Interior Ministry? Is this true or is this untrue?
All right, let's start by answering you this way. When a person takes 5 to 8 years or 10 years to talk about something what he claims to be a disclosure or a statement of fact, I would tend to strongly dismiss his statements
because it doesn't suit you,
dishonest, fundamentally baseless, and motivated by certain factors.
What if I were to say?
Number two, Hold
One
on,
second.
let me speak.
One second. Syed Tariq Peerzada, question to you. Question to you tonight.
No,
1 second. My question is to you, Mr. Peerzada. My question is to you. I ask a second question to you. A second question to you, Mr. Peerzada. A second question to you, Mr. Peerzada, from me. You take my question. You take my question, Mr. Peerzada. My question is, suppose I were to say, Mr. Peerzada. Let me take my question. Suppose I want to say, Mr. Peerzada, that it is you who are motivated. It is you who are.
You can't cut me
You
down.
answer the question. Is it true or not?
I have
people in India are watching. They want to know.
Speak. No.
Is it true or not that during 26/11 he was serving as the Director General of the National Police Bureau in the Ministry of the Interior in 2008 and hence was among the senior most members of the Pakistan Police? Is this true or untrue, Colonel Shafqat Saeed?
After that, to speak truth. Okay,
he came all 8 years. He took 8 years to realize what is true.
Let me see.
How come?
All right, now one more thing.
That's your only argument.
Remember, if you hold on.
That's their only argument, Maroof. 8 years.
Now the article, if you go through it, now stop Maroof for a second. You gave him enough opportunity. If you go through the article, you'll find out that he talked about Ajmal Kasab being a Pakistani. He talked about voice sample, which is already a matter of public knowledge. He talked about Indian, offered, preferred evidence, which has been rejected by the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Lies!
In the case of Hafiz.
Lies! Again, lies, a bunch of lies from you. 1 second. 1 second. Lies and a bunch of lies from you, Tariq Peerzada, which you are wont to doing. Now, you don't have the facts. You don't have the material with you, and you and Shafqat Saeed are thoroughly embarrassed. What he has said, Tariq Khosa.
No, you are embarrassed.
He says.
I have never seen an Indian as embarrassed as you are, because we are challenging you on the face of you, in the face of you rather, on your television, and you can't rebut our arguments.
Very often, Mr. Peerzada, on these
Mr. Peerzada,
Maroof, I have something to say to Mr.
that is your habit.
Come on,
Mr.
Maroof.
Peerzada, that is your habit.
Are you the host of the program?
You always get the wrong end of the stick. And you get the wrong end of the stick, and you try and confuse the situation with a convoluted argument which has no basis.
You are being a good Muslim for the Hindu majority in India, I know that. But let me say one thing. Be honest to yourself.
Don't, the problem with you, the reason why you are a bunch of losers, Mr. Peerzada, the reason why you are a bunch of losers, you have not been able to look beyond your limited Islamic prism.
Down into pieces.
And the pity is that you carry the accent of the Americans who you dislike the most. That is the irony.
Pakistan and China have cut you down into pieces. India is an isolated country.
Mr. Peerzada.
Really, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are still standing tall. Mr. Peerzada, don't make a mockery of the facts that exist.
The facts
come up with something better.
Maroof, 1 second. Maroof, I'm going to GD Bakshi. I'm going to GD Bakshi. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 second. Maroof, 1 second. Mr. Peerzada, very often I disagree with you. 1 second. Very often, almost all the time, Mr. Peerzada, I disagree with you and Colonel Shafqat Saeed. But tonight I feel sorry for you. Because you know that the same man who has exposed you today is a man who testified before a public hearing organized by a Pakistan parliamentary panel in September 2012, speaking about Lt camps in Sindh that were used for training ahead of the 26/11 attacks. You have no answers tonight. The man who led your investigation has exposed you. All your appearances on the Newshour come to naught tonight, Mr. Peerzada. All your appearances on the Newshour come to naught tonight. GD Bakshi, please. Why are our Pakistani panelists not being able to argue on fact, GD Bakshi, about the revelations of the senior most investigator in the FIA, GD Bakshi?
I gave you the issue of the Indian dossier rejected by the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Can Mr. Peerzada kindly listen to somebody else?
Kindly listen. Why should I
kindly listen to somebody else, Mr. Peerzada?
A bunch of crap.
Because this is a debate and we are all supposed to discuss. Now, Arnab, I would like to state, that thank God there is at least one man with a conscience in Pakistan. And today he has spoken out. He is a responsible person. Please see the level of authority that he held in that country and the office that he held. He has stated the following. Ajmal Amir Kasab was a Pakistani citizen. He was trained in the Thata camp. The casings of the explosives used in Mumbai were recovered from that camp. He has traced back that boat, that trawler, to the Lashkar-e-Toiba owned trawler in Karachi. He has traced back the engine used on the Dingy from Japan to Lahore to Karachi shop purchased by the Lashkar-e-Toiba. The entire financial transaction
has been traced by him.
Bakshi. I mean, there's no laughing matter.
I'm quoting him. Has he said this?
Please read what he has written. English. Please read what he has written. And
you're telling us to read what has been written. Wow.
That he has also mentioned that they were able to locate the command control operation room in Karachi from where
that issue has also been settled on many shows. You have raised that issue that there was a command and control center in Karachi and we dismissed that.
One Pakistani
Tariq Khosa has not said something new. General Bakshi, do not mislead 1.3 billion Indians. This is your problem and tragedy.
1 second. Syed Tariq Peerzada, why are you confused tonight? Mr. Peerzada and Shafqat Saeed, I'd like to quote a very specific part. Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao and Sushant Sareen, please. See, the question is this. This is what your head of the FIA has said. He says, you see, this is not evidence India has given you. Every time Abid Rao, you, Syed Tariq Peerzada, Shafqat Saeed have come on the Newshour on 26/11, you've said we don't believe any of the evidence that the Indians give us. Now, that's been your only line of argument. Now the person who was directly in charge of investigating 26/11 from the Pakistani side has come out and said that we have done it. He has said, and I quote, and I'd like you to be a little rational about it. He said the Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists were imparted training near Thata, Sindh and launched by sea from there. This is a Pakistani head of the FIA speaking. He says the training camp was identified and secured by the investigators, which is the Pakistani FIA.
He says people who are involved.
This is your investigator, not an Indian investigator, sir. What are you saying? He has validated everything we have been saying all along.
Name one.
What are you talking about? Do you not believe him? Is he not a Pakistani? Has he not validated everything we have said all along?
Are you asking me?
Has he not said that the casings of the explosives used in Mumbai were recovered from the training camp and duly matched? Has he not said we went to the training camp and matched the casings of the explosives?
The worst training camps in Afghanistan. From where
I don't understand this. Abid Rao and Sushant Sareen, and then we take a break. Abid Rao.
Okay.
Abid Rao.
Let me speak.
Abid Rao.
Yes. Arnab, agreed what you are saying. Let's move from here. Suppose this is correct. Suppose what you have been saying is correct. This is what is correct. Then what is the next step? With this attitude of the Indian government, where blame game is the only most prominent act of your side, what do we do? Now we've lost 1 year of Mr. Modi's government. Last year,
admit.
We were supposed to have the
you say, what do we do? You admit. You admit.
No.
You admit 26/11. That's what you do.
I want to admit one thing.
You admit your head investigator has exposed you. Now you admit.
There is a tragedy on 26/11. And now,
sir, 1 second. Your investigator has said, sir, your investigator has said,
between our two governments,
Mr. Abid Rao, Mr. Rao, your investigator has made
in India which say that there are people who in India did this incident and blamed it on Pakistan. There are these, you will have it on Gurdaspur also. Because before the people were caught, you blamed them for being Pakistanis. Arnab, I want to take you a step ahead of what you are saying.
Sir, I have just one question for you. I have one question for you, sir. 1 minute. Sir, I have one question for you, sir. One question for Abid Rao. Please tell me tonight. You believe or not believe the Director General of the Federal Investigating Agency of Pakistan, who says that Pakistan carried out this 26/11 attack. You just tell me. He has even said that the fishing trawler used by the terrorists for hijacking an Indian trawler in which they sailed to Mumbai was brought back to the harbour, painted and concealed. He has said all this. He has said that the engine of the dinghy abandoned by the terrorists near Mumbai harbour contained a patent number through which the investigator traced its import from Japan to Lahore and then to a sports shop in Karachi, from where a LET Lashkar-linked militant purchased it along with the dinghy. He has said, the Pakistan Federal Investigating Agency has said that the money trail was followed and linked to the accused, who was arrested. Sir, he has said that the 26/11 control room was in Karachi, where the operation was directed. Operations room was identified and secured by the investigators. I, as an Indian, want to know from you tonight, why have you been lying?
Let's move ahead.
I first want to know from you, why have you been lying?
Let the two governments.
Why have you been lying all these years? I want to know what did you gain by lying?
No, it's not a question of lying.
You've been lying, you've been exposed
when there
tonight
is a blame game on both sides, we will reach nowhere. And
sir, I first want an admission of guilt.
So the question is,
admission of guilt.
Admission will come at the end when all evidence is collected.
Well, this is
investigated and
Sushant Sareen
coincide.
Sushant Sareen.
I will tell you.
Sushant Sareen, please.
I will be the first one.
Sushant Sareen countering and then a first break. Sushant Sareen.
You know, I think where the Air Marshal and some of the other people are getting this whole thing wrong is that, number one, what Tariq Khosa has written is no new revelation. And I'll tell you why it's not. Number one, Pakistani media from 2008, 2009, when the investigations were going on, was already reporting these facts. A lot of these facts are there in the charge sheet which has been filed against the 7 accused in the Lahore court. So it's not as though there's some new revelation being made. Mr. Tariq Khosa is only jogging our memories over what the investigations which the Pakistanis themselves had done. And for example, as far as those casings are concerned, those were matched with the casings which were recovered in Mumbai. So all that case had been prepared, so much so that Rahman Malik, in the days when he was Interior Minister, often used to tell everybody and shout out from the rooftops that I have a cast iron case. Now, to my mind, what is really relevant about Tariq Khosa's article is not these revelations, but the fact that when India says that, look, you have the evidence, but you are not prosecuting the case with the sincerity and the seriousness, I think he has endorsed that viewpoint when he says that the dissemble by the lawyers of the defendants, the way the case was handled by the prosecution, the way or the lack of interest which the government showed in taking this case to its logical conclusion, all of that has resulted in a situation where this case seems to be going nowhere. I think that's the first major revelation he made. The second one he makes is about the voice samples, where he says that we want those voice samples, and once we get those, we can match it and we nail these guys even more. And the courts have not been allowing those voice samples.
So, yes, Shafqat Saeed.
The most important thing he says.
The
most important thing he says, I must tell you this. He says it's not just about those 7 guys who are being prosecuted. If we really want to do justice to the victims of 26/11, there is a whole lot of other people who were involved. We must expand this investigation and ensnare all of them. He doesn't want to do it all for the sake of India. He wants to do it for the sake of Pakistan, because he says we cannot play this double game endlessly.
The most important point, and that is where I hope Shafqat Saeed and Tariq Peerzada, when we come out of a 2-3 minute break, I hope they will have time back. Give them 3 minutes to prepare their answer. I hope they're able to tell us the most important thing they say. And these two gentlemen will answer when I come out on the other side. The head of the FIA, the Federal Investigating Agency in Pakistan, has said the commander of the 26/11 attack and his deputies have all been identified. I want to know tonight where they are.
Commander.
I want to know tonight where they are. And I want to know tonight how much you will lie, how much you will obfuscate. Maroof Raza and Shafqat Saeed, Syed Tariq Peerzada. Maroof, our Pakistani panelists completely cornered tonight. It appears to me they began with one argument saying that it's come too late, this admission of guilt. 1 second, please. Shafqat Saeed, give me a minute.
You gave me 3 minutes to prepare my answer. Come on, it's my turn now. You told me.
Just 1 minute.
Stand by your words.
Are you saying Tariq Khosa is not a Pakistani? Is he a Pakistani?
Why not? I'm saying he's Pakistani.
Okay. Was he Director General of the National Police Bureau?
Pakistani. Oh yeah, he is.
And was he in charge of the 26/11 investigation?
Yeah, he is correct.
And was he the senior most investigator in the FIA during his tenure under the Interior Ministry?
Of course.
Did he? One second. Last question. Complete admission of guilt from a Pakistani case. Is he the same man, Shafqat Saeed, who testified before a public hearing organized by the Pakistani parliamentary panel in September 2012, speaking about Lt camps in Sindh that were used for training before the 26/11 attacks? Completely cornered tonight, Maroof, our Pakistani panelists. Yes, please.
No.
Yes, please.
No.
Yes, no. Of course, yes. You don't know the facts. No. In September 28, 2012...
I know the fact. Come on.
Well...
Whatever is music to your ears, you accept it very happily. But whatever comes to you as a fact, you get blasted. No.
Then Mr. Shafqat Saeed, Tariq Khosa supervised the probe of the Mumbai incident, and he said that investigators had found Lashkar-e-Toiba camps at Thata and Karachi, the capital of the Sindh province, and these camps were used to be involved in the attacks. Is it true or not that they found the Pakistani boat that was used by the team of 10 terrorists to travel from Karachi to Indian waters? What are you talking about, Shafqat Saeed? You don't even know the facts.
Before you went on the break.
Yes, Shafqat Saeed.
Before you went on the break,
Shafqat Saeed.
I will be answering you. But now you did not tell me that after the break you will be speaking to me.
And
now please listen to me. I have the answer for your question that you posed before the break.
Answer on the 26/11 admission. Don't talk about side issues.
Yes, 26/11.
Yes. Talk about the 26/11 admission.
Talk on that.
Talk about Syed Tariq Khosa.
Forget about any sort of outcome of this till the time you reciprocate on this. You are not reciprocating on this. What did you do on Samjhauta Express? Are you going to talk about what
did you do with are you going to even talk about what the issue
Pakistan
which we are here to debate
India,
tonight?
Whatever posture they adopt internationally. Arnab, please listen. Whatever posture India and Pakistan adopt, handshake, diplomatic relation, economic cooperation, commercial relation, everything apart.
And so
India and Pakistan consider each other enemy states. And you do whatever you can, proxy war, infiltrations, whatever. And
you're losing the argument.
You must expect from Pakistan.
You're losing the argument. Maroof will respond to you. No. Maroof will respond to you. No, 1 second. 1 second. Maroof will respond to you. 1 second. Colonel Shafqat Saeed, 1 minute. Colonel Shafqat Saeed, 1 minute. 1 minute.
You don't deserve it.
Listen to me, Shafqat ji. आप घबरा क्यों रहे आज? आप घबरा क्यों रहे?
मैं कोई नहीं घबरा रहा.
मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ एक बात, आप सुन लीजिए.
हिम्मत ही नहीं है.
सुन लीजिए, हिम्मत की बात नहीं, सच्चाई की बात है. आप जो सच है वो सुनना नहीं चाहते आप. कर्नल शफकात सईद, आप सच से इतना घबराते हैं भाई. आपको मैं सच बताता हूँ. Unlike Pakistan, India does not live in denial when it comes to the Samjhauta incident and acts against the accused, even if it has been politically convenient or inconvenient. Please understand. Now anyway, Maroof is responding to you.
Maroof is the fallout of Pakistan's own doing. It is not.
I sympathize. Maroof.
Don't sympathize.
Why are our Pakistani guests not being able to come?
Arnab, may I?
Yeah.
Khan Sahab, with respect, let me respond to a couple of points you have raised. The first point is that you and your other panelists had said that he has come out in the open after 8 years. Look at the pattern of all your admissions since 1947 of every operation, terrorist or military operation. They all took 8 to 10 years to come out in the open. So this is nothing new. The second point is that you are saying that we are inciting an insurgency in Pakistan. I can quote you 3 writers of Pakistani origin. I think you would have read their writings also.
Don't quote me.
Akbar Ahmed's book, The Thistle and the Drone. And he's an eminent Pakistani who has a lot of experience in Baluchistan. Sir, मेरी बात सुन लीजिए. The second, sir, please मेरी बात सुन लीजिए. Sir, please hear me out. no Pakistani
your argument lacks
honest
morality
writer
and logic.
has come up with any evidence on Baluchistan where India is involved. The one string of evidence that you hang on
soon
to
see it
is
in the
by an
Security
American
Council.
writer
You will
who
very
said
soon
that
see it in
Indian
Security
consulates
Council.
in
That Pakistan does
Afghanistan
not
may
do
be
it like
arming the
what Arnab is
Baluchis.
doing.
But sir, hear me out.
Media, right?
Sir, hear me out.
Sensibly.
Now, what I'm saying, the same
You won't
person
get embarrassed. Very soon.
on whose evidence you talk about Baluchistan has also said that the Pakistanis lie so much that I can't believe them when they even tell the truth. This is the same person whose one-line evidence in an article in the Foreign Affairs Journal has become an article of faith for you in Baluchistan. You have failed to come up with any other evidence. What would the people do when you take all their gas away in Gwadar, which is in their territory? You bring Punjabis to do labor work there. You kill innocents there. Look at documentaries that have been made, and you say we are inciting the insurgency. We were at least honest enough to admit about Samjhauta Express.
You are not.
You are still
You are not.
dishonest.
There is no honesty
You
in
don't have
international
the
relations.
intellectual courage
There is no
to
honesty
admit
in the international
that
relations.
your people were involved in
No.
2611. We admitted before you said so.
Government of
we came up
Pakistan
with
was
the
not
evidence,
involved
and
in that.
trials are
But
on in
government of
Chandigarh
India
about the
is
Samjhauta
involved in
Express.
fertile
And you people are
Baluchistan.
still denying it?
One
Sir,
second.
sharam kijiye. Thoda to sharam kijiye.
आप
You're
शर्म
trying to
करें?
tell us
This
what we should do.
relationship is
You are hanging on to
it
the
is
Chinese
denial-based,
coattails
it is
after you
rebuttal-based.
juice the Americans.
Syed Tariq
And the
Peerzada.
Chinese will also eventually hang you
Peerzada.
onto the bloody doorknob.
You would never mention Chuck Hagel, right? Chuck Hagel?
Chuck Hagel.
Chuck Hagel. You will never mention Chuck Hagel.
Chuck
never
Hagel,
ever.
I'll tell you all his writings. What do you want me to tell you about Chuck Hagel?
You would never mention him because he exposed India in a Senate committee hearing that India is responsible for whatever is happening in Pakistan.
Can
the
I-
government of India is
You see the problem, viewers.
By just making irrelevant points.
What? The problem,
Come up with specifics.
I'm not making irrelevant point.
Maroof, a
This
minute.
is supposed to be discussed
Maroof,
by
a
very
minute. A minute.
responsible
Colonel
people. It is
Shafqat
not a
Saeed and Maroof.
subject of a debate like this. What flinging? It is not subject of this debate. No, it is not.
Understand one thing. 1 second. D Bakshi coming to you. Please understand this, gentlemen.
You are raising Baluchistan. I did.
The senior most.
You are talking of Samjhauta.
Maroof, 1 minute. Maroof.
We are talking of 2611.
Maroof, the Pakistanis
Are
want
you
to
willing to admit? Are you willing to admit there is a Pakistani role?
In what? In what Pakistani role? Look, were you not responsible for Bangladesh?
2611.
Did you not totally support that proxy war?
Two more minutes on the debate.
Let me not
Were you not
repeat the history of
responsible for
Bangladesh.
1972 insurgency?
Yahya Khan was on
Were you not
record.
responsible for Abdul
Yahya Khan was on record to say
Were
kill
you not
3 million
responsible for financing
Bangladeshis
the,
and they will eat out of your hand.
in Karachi?
Okay, what's the realization tonight? My
Sir,
question to
have
Abid
you ever
Rao.
been to Dhaka?
My question to
Have you
Abid Rao
ever been
is
to Dhaka?
My question.
वहाँ
Everybody
जाके
would do
देखिए
it. You are doing
up
it
the
against
steps of the
Pakistan.
Dhaka
Pakistan
Club
has the
are
right to do
pictures
it.
of your genocide.
Everything is reciprocated.
आप अपने आप को
Same
मुसलमान
kind.
बुलाते हैं?
Same kind.
You have been
And
killing
be
Muslims
prepared to
left,
take
right
it.
and center. As long as one is not a Punjabi
care what Muslim and Hindu.
Muslim, he's not good enough to be called a
It is India
Pakistani.
and Pakistan. India, Pakistan.
You are telling me about it, sir. Let me remind you. Let me remind you. Let me remind you of your dark
What
past.
is happening now in subcontinent? And
Shafqat
I
Saeed.
tell you, this can only be corrected
Thank
by
you.
India's attitude.
Thank you for the admission.
Pakistan is only
Thank you for the
reflecting what is
admission.
India
This
doing.
is the second admission. One is of 2611 and secondly
exposure, Maroof.
that you are perpetual
Be a
sponsors
man.
of
Come
terror.
on, don't talk like a child. What admission? I'm telling you a fact. I'm student of peace and conflict studies. And I'm telling you that India-Pakistan relationship is based on animosity, on mistrust. It is irritant based. And when this relationship is based like this...
Sir, I understand that.
I understood your mindset with that.
I understand that.
Shafqat Saeed, Shafqat Saeed, 1 second. Maroof, a minute. Maroof, I need to come in. Maroof,
Any
1 second.
outcome between India and Pakistan.
1 second, Maroof, please.
We will have to take terror into your soil.
Maroof,
We will have to punish you
student of
the way
peace
you
and
have punished our citizens.
Maroof, a student
Then
of
you will understand the long arm of the
which your
Indian
national
state.
security
Maroof,
advisor is saying about this.
a student
He's
of
saying, we will
Shafqat Saeed ji,
everything
zara
from
please.
terrorism to nuclear weapons
शफकत सईद जी,
to
आप
destroy Pakistan.
बहुत घबरा रहे हैं,
And what do you expect?
बहुत ज्यादा घबरा रहे हैं सारे भारतवर्ष में, भारत और 80 मुल्कों में ये जो टेलीकास्ट हो रहा है, सब लोग ये देख रहे हैं, आप इतना घबरा गए। मेरा सवाल ये है, मारूफ, my question to Abid Rao and to Sushant Sareen, Abid Rao and Sushant Sareen, is this, one point is this, the senior most investigator today from Pakistan has spoken of voice samples that India has been demanding. He has said that the investigation of the Fair Trial Act of 2013 caters to the admissibility of such technical evidence. Give us the evidence. What are you scared of? Let us match the voice samples.
Nothing.
If you're not scared, then give us the voice samples. Give it up
You
now.
are scared. Therefore, you are doing all this in media. You don't have the strength to stand
this admission. One second, Shafqat Saeed, my question to Tariq Peerzada is this. Tariq Peerzada, my question to you is this. One second, Tariq Peerzada. Listen, Shafqat Saeed, don't be irresponsible in your responses.
What is coming for you is
okay, one second. Shafqat Saeed, listen to me. Geo TV, not Times Now, exposed that Qassab was from Pakistan. Dawn newspaper published this expose by your FIA chief, not Times Now. So you know what? First go and read your own newspapers and see your own news channels. Don't believe in the ISI publicity which both of you represent so well today, Peerzada. Read your own papers, yes. See your own channels, and then think and introspect. Peerzada.
Arnab, I represent...
Mr. Peerzada, please. Mr. Peerzada, please.
Right?
Arnab, may I, Arnab...
What's your question?
Arnab,
and after the question...
D Bakshi and then Peerzada. Yeah.
What we are seeing...
Yeah.
You know, Arnab, what we are seeing is a classic example of spin doctoring. They are trying to sell us a narrative that the entire 26/11 was the handiwork of non-state actors. The God-honest truth is that it was the straight, direct job of the Pakistani ISI. They recruited, they trained, they transported. They control minute by minute the operations of 10 mass murderers in Mumbai.
The admission...
Pakistan is today trying to obfuscate onto a set of non-state actors. You know, it is its last-ditch line of defense.
Well, it is,
the
but
fact is it has been trying to shield its ISI...
GD Bakshi, I think I am concerned about where Tariq Khosa is. I hope that Tariq Khosa does not come to any harm at the hands of the ISI. I hope that Tariq Khosa is given a democratic opportunity to present himself before the global media. I hope that Tariq Khosa's views are not disregarded, and I hope that Nawaz Sharif meets Tariq Khosa and then tells him to go before the world and tell the whole world what the Pakistanis did in 26/11. Nawaz Sharif, before your next meeting with Narendra Modi, please do that. The people of India would appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 3 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.